Hello guys, in another episode of Omnipotent Growth with Kal. Today we are going to talk about how leaders can pitch successfully their ideas. And I want to say hi to Stefan. Hello.
Hi, Kal. Hi to all of our viewers and listeners. So, we have all been in situations where we need to convince our peers or our boss in an idea that we are sure it will have a positive impact on the organization or the work process. We have collected all the needed data, prepared reasonable projections and argumentation, and still our proposal doesn't get through. We focus too much on the content rather than the presentation itself. Persuasion today is no longer a soft skill. It is a fundamental skill that can help you attract investors, sell products, build brands, inspire teams, and trigger movements. Consultants Gary Williams and Robert Mueller conducted several years' research and found out that executives have a predetermined style of decision-making. You should know who the key decision maker is and persuade them. They identified the following type of executives: charismatic, easily intrigued and sparked by new ideas. They are initially driven by emotions and they base their final decision on balanced information. How to persuade them? Focus on the results and provide direct arguments. The next type is the thinker, logical, risk-averse, and needs extensive details. You need to present a lot of data, a pile of supporting expert opinions. Then comes the skeptic. They're suspicious of the data that doesn't fit their view and make decisions based on gut feelings. So try to find who they trust and convince him or her. Play with their ego. Then follows the follower. He relies on other trusted executives' decisions or their own past decisions. Then for this type, you should present proven methods, references, and testimonials. And the last type is the controllers. They're unemotional, analytical, and implement only their own ideas. Present highly structured arguments. Make listeners own the idea. This is the advice, how to persuade controllers. So we all have experience with some of these types. I think they're very well described. Kal, I want to ask you, what is your opinion? Have you met these categories, and how do you persuade them?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. Of course, you have met such qualities, or if you can say qualities, in the negative side of the broad picture of the profiles that were explained here. But I always think that it's a combination. It's a balance. We possess not only one or the other. Moreover, when you say, I want to reflect first to the part in which you talked about persuasion and how it's no longer a soft skill. I'm fully on that page, and I've read researches which say that close to 50%, I cannot say 47, I think, or 46% of the jobs will be replaced, the operational jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence in the next decade. So this is a huge amount.
Number, yeah.
So as we spoke in previous episodes, your qualities, your skills should be complementary to the machines, to the automations. And definitely one of those skills is the verbal skill, the way you communicate, the way you persuade, the way you show others what you think, and try to, let's say, convince them in a way that this would be the right way to go. When it comes to the profiles or the, I don't know how we can put them, but the types of executives.
Yeah.
It's not only the executive, it's those are personal characters. So a charismatic leader can be on a low operational level and still run things the same way. So we can use a lot of different tools that are persuasion tools or influence tools, but as I previously said, it's very important to know where to draw the line and how to really make those into something that is not manipulative. So if you are trying to persuade me with Robert Cialdini's tactics, I will notice and I will think that I'm being played. But if you are putting like the good part of them, like trying to understand my viewpoint, making rapport, saying the words that I'm saying to make me trust you. Okay, I'm fully up with that. But moreover, if you try to put too much scarcity or too much pressure to a decision, there are those tactics that are used for persuasion. They are most of the times in the advertisements, offers all over. Like we must make those in a leadership way and not in a marketing way. So this is the neat point in which I will not say that there is a bad type here. So charismatic, thinker, skeptic, follower, controller. If you have other qualities, supporting qualities, those, how to say, basic characteristics about you can be a guide on how to communicate with you. But I think that this is not the only thing that we should think about how to when we are addressing a person, how to influence them. We also should think how to put ourselves in a mindset in which we know that we want to achieve something, but not over the relationship with the person. So I want to try and use the special tactics that are, for example, for the thinker, just to get my point. Like this is more of a manipulation. I would balance, I would try to be heard, but then everything should be transparent, in my opinion. And this is the real dichotomy, the real balance of skilled communicators, skilled influencer, let's say. And a funny thing, I'm always talking about to my managers how you are not only leaders, but you are also influencers. This funny word that came up the latest years.
Recently,
of course, you have to influence a lot of people to achieve what you want to achieve.
Well, you touched upon our next question. Being able to identify the key decision maker and persuade him or her is without doubt very important, but delivering your message eloquently is also an essential part of the pitch. So without manipulation, as you said, and there is a very also influential article, The Necessary Art of Persuasion, in which article Jay Conger argues that persuasion is actually a process of learning from others and finding a shared solution. He outlines the following elements of persuasion: establishing credibility, which is attained in two ways, through expertise and relationship, and the relationship is based on the ability to listen, to work in the best interest of others, be honest, steady, and reliable. Also create a frame for common ground, which is show the benefits of your idea for your audience, provide solid evidence, and then connect emotionally with your audience. You should show your emotional commitment about your idea, and more importantly, know your audience emotional states. So, Kal, your thoughts on What is your art of persuasion?
Mm. Uh, so I think that most of the times when people hear the word pitch, they're thinking about the elevator pitch and how you should be able to very quickly describe your idea, convince whoever is listening. So most of the times, especially in the West, people are thinking about venture capital and how to win some money to try to execute an idea. But this is also applicable to everyday life and on a smaller scale, and not every time on a smaller scale, because sometimes people are not realizing that they're part of, let's say, multi-million-dollar project or multi-million euro, and with small changes they can achieve a lot of impact on that project. Nevertheless, it can be used on every level, I think. My way of thinking about that is, of course, there are the rules of speaking to another human being, like show how you're connected, show what problem you want to solve, show how much you care about that. There is a saying that nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you show your type of involvement and your type of investing yourself into the topic, then people start to open up. Even if you show some insecurity, sometimes it helps. So it's not always a weakness to say, I'm not sure about that, but I'm finding a way to solve it. I think there is a lot of potential. The structure that I use is when I'm trying to think about how I'm going to present or how I'm going to talk about with people that I want to persuade an idea, is I first start the structure in my head with the logical levels. The logical levels come mainly from coaching. So I know the what, I know what I want to be executed. Then I have to go up and think about the how, and this is more the let's say high level stuff that are needed to be done, the planning, the strategy, all the things that are needed to this to be successful. And then the why, the reasoning. So the why is very important. Many of our listeners and viewers have read Simon Sinek's Start With Why, I'm pretty sure. But when it comes to a single idea, not every time the why should be around the whole reason of why a company should exist or why you're dealing with such a service or product or whatever. The why can be let's say easily a shift to something else, like trying something new in a project, something small, but with something small there might be a bigger why, and this why can connect. I'm always trying to talk about alignment, and alignment in companies is very important. So even if it's on a project level, even if it's on a let's say department level, then divisional level, there is always a why that can connect upstairs and then can connect downstairs. So if you connect the reasoning with the whole alignment, then you have a solid why, and you can then start to work from there, to work from where you want to stand with that, who is going to help, how is going to affect the people that are involved and the people that should make the decision probably. But this is my starting point to go deeper into the topic that I want to persuade, let's say. So I know that this particular topic is related to a lot of thoughts leaning to, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be manipulative. It's not manipulative. The thing that you know how neurolinguistics programming works, the fact that you know how certain types of certain tactics in your speech and your vocabulary can do more in a communication, in a conversation. This is not you playing the other. This is you investing in your communication, investing in your relationship, because in the end, of course, if you persuade an idea which sucks, and you somehow convince everybody that it's good, but you're so persuasive, okay, you might not have another chance, depending on the level. If it's something small, all right, but if it's on the higher levels, this might cost you a lot. So we should start with the idea itself, and then if you are convinced in your idea, if you're convinced in your reasoning, in the things that you want to chase, then it makes perfect sense to be able to put some of those skills into work, and creating something like a synergy, and trying to influence in a good way. And then if the result is positive, everything is quite okay in the end.
Yeah. And you attain your goal at the end.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you, I know that in the corporate world, it's not so easy to try something new. But if you would try something like that, what it will be your approach, for example? Like, how are you supporting yourself? I know that you're a data-driven guy. You always want to have numbers, but it was interesting.
Well, you're right. In our industry, it's very conservative, and all the processes are so entrenched in the system that it's very hard to change them and to implement a new idea. My approach is to gather a lot of data, of course, to clearly show the benefits in Excel, preferably, because the financial guys love Excel. And then go directly to the decision maker, because even though the decisions are oftentimes taken in some committees, there is a one decision maker, a key decision maker in whose domain the idea should be implemented, who will make the final decision. So I'm trying to convince him or her with strong arguments, strong data, and oftentimes it works, because if your idea is reasonable, you're trying to persuade people who are with rich experience. They're smart, so they can see, if they can see the advantages, the benefits of your idea, then it's easy to persuade them.
It should work a go.
Exactly, even in our conservative industry.
Yeah, it's. I totally relate. Sometimes there is a committee or a project in which there are layers upon layers, and sometimes depending on how big the matter is, it might go to the levels that are somewhere not visible for the regular manager. The thing is that for me, you always have to think of your audience. Like, if you're going to convince, trying to convince the operational level, the guys that you're working with, let's say the managers that are on operational level, it's one thing. But when you're trying to convince the board or the CEO, then you have to put yourself in their shoes. And this, of course, goes back to empathy, as we spoke about in one of the episodes. You have to think like the person, not you putting yourself there on this spot, but trying to recreate the person in your mind and see the concerns, see the angles that might be troublesome. And sometimes it turns out that your thing, it's clear, it's logical, this is the right decision, but then you don't have the full picture, because the next level might have more information and might know about some stoppers or things that are not letting this thing go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically this is those are the to summarize, those are the key factors. No matter with whom you are speaking, you have to be very aware of your idea, the origin, how it came up, what does it do to everyone, how does it solve a problem, how does it make things better. Then you have to think about the concepts and the tactics in influencing. Maybe we can do a whole episode or a tutorial about what influencing tactics are there, and how to use them in a...
That would be very useful, I think.
Honest way, let's say. And the rest is show empathy, think about your audience, always think about your audience, who you're speaking to. And good luck with the things that you're doing. All right, so I think we covered the basics. As I said, we might want to dive deeper into this topic, because there are a lot of things that can be said. It's one thing how it should be used, and what are the surrounding environments, but it's a whole other thing. What are the things that you can actually use, like the implementables, let's say. All right, so it's Kal. Thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and to share the content. We are going to see you next time.
Thank you, guys.